White shirts on the pitch, running fast through the night. Every heart beating loud under floodlit sky bright. So to London, stand strong. In the stands they belong. Voices echo like thunder. To the club they sing along. Up in Spurs we arise. Eyes on the prize. Victory in sight with all our might. King's fire in his eyes. Glory's what he seeks. With every goal he flies, rising to new peaks. From the lake to far and wide, with the pride of the fight. On this journey we'll ride, with our passion burning bright. Up in Spurs we arise, eyes on the prize. Victory in sight with all our might. From the lane to far and wide, with the pride of the fight. On this journey we'll ride, with our passion burning bright. Up in Spurs we arise, eyes on the prize. Victory in sight with all our might. With all our might. With all our might.
Hi, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're watching this, and welcome to THFC Till I Die Home, Tottenham past, present, and an exciting future under Ange Postecoglou as we look ahead to the game tomorrow at 1:30 at St James's Park against Newcastle United, where, to be fair, we have not had the best of runs up there. Last two games, I think 6-1 and 4-1. Yeah, not the greatest runs up there, but how are you guys this evening? If you can, please hit the like button, please hit the subscription button as well as we take our march to 2K. Let me know what you think of the game tomorrow. Put your comments in. Also, you can pick up your memberships as well, guys, which gets you on to the post-match show tomorrow, guys. It gets you on after the match with me and Tequila are going to run a post-match show. And you got members can come on. You can have your say. You can have your say in the game. You can have your say in the first three games. Have your say in the transfer window. What you think of it? Was it good, bad, indifferent? Could we have done better? Look, going out, I think we've done brilliant. Coming in, I think we could have done a hell of a lot better. I don't know. I feel very underwhelmed with the transfer window from yesterday. I was expecting a lot more. Look, we've got Lucas Bergveld, great find. We've got Archie Gray, a great find. We've got Wilson Odegaard. You know, great signings, but the signings for the future. And there's no experience in this side. As I did earlier in my predicted lineup, there's no experience. And that worries me. And I think we could have done a lot more. And I think we had an opportunity this window to really push the boat out, to really go ahead and really give it to the top four and make it that we are guaranteed top four this season, because we're not guaranteed it. We're not guaranteed top four this season, and other teams around us have improved. And it worries me a bit, again, that we've been sort of, that will do. And I want us to be, I want to finish a transfer window and go, wow, what a window. Wow, we've done brilliantly outgoings, but look at the incomings we've got. And it's a winner that has left me going, we could have done more. And I know all transfer windows are not easy. And I know this isn't FIFA or EA Sports or Football Manager. I get that. But we could have done a bit more. And I think we could have pushed the boat out. Could have got another cover for the fullbacks. We could have got another cover for for centre back. We could have got another striker. Look, Solanke could turn out to be the best striker in the world, best striker we've got this season. But I wanted somebody like a Vlahovic or a Jonathan David or an Ivan Toney. All right, these players are going to come with their own baggage and their own, I suppose, their own sort of quirks and maybe their own, a bit of a divas, if you know it, in certain ways, some of these players. But I want us to go for these players. And look, I'm always an advocate for kids, play the kids, and that hasn't changed. But we need experience in this team as well. You can win everything with kids. You can do it with experience and the kids, and it works. I don't know. Me and Tequila this week are going to rate the 25-man squad. We're going to rate it. We're going to rate the transfer window ourselves. We're going to give our honest opinions on it as well, guys. So please look out for that. For next week, we've got the Knights of Republic. Big up, Knights of Republic. He says, nervous for the game, Domo. Not going to lie, I am too. We haven't won there up there the last 2 times. And, you know, there will be a lot of scars. There's players up there who are there for both games. And there's going to be a lot of mental, psychological scars, I think, from both games. That they will have to carry, and they're going to have to block that out. Newcastle, when they get going and that crowd gets behind them, it's not an easy place to go. We're going to have to go out there and play like we did against Everton, like we did for the first hour against Leicester and for the full 90 minutes against Everton. We have to do it that way. We can't go up there and just score a goal and think, switch off. We have to be on the ball all 96 minutes long, guys. And also we've got in as well Jerry Connor. Big up, Jerry. Hope you're doing well, sir. Not a hope in hell of top 4, top 6 will be a great result. Well, look, I've always said it. If we get top 6 in the trophy, I'm happy. I'd be happy with that. But I think top 6 and no trophy, and it looks like we've gone backwards, I think Ange's job's in jeopardy at the end of next season. He's got an awful lot to prove this season. And look, I'm Ange in. I want Ange to succeed. I want him to bring the glory days back to Tottenham. But he's got to do it. He's got to take these cups seriously. And we're doing the show on Monday, me and Philip, with the question, is top 4 more important than the cups? And at the moment, I think the club's mentality is top 4 is the most important thing. Top 4 is the holy grail. That's our cup. And that shouldn't be it. That shouldn't be what we should be aspiring for at the start of the season. We should be aspiring to win trophies. And look, we're not going to win the league. Look, I know every season, the start of the season, we all say we're going to win the league. The quad is on and all this. Yeah, and it's beginning of the season enthusiasm. And I'm bad of it myself. No wonder we get the nickname Delusional Tron, and I get that, and I'm more delusional than most. But I think we're not going to win the league. We'll get top 4. I think that would be a great season, getting top 4. You know, Man City and them lot down the road are going to be there or thereabouts at the end of the season. But I want us to be within the 5. And when it comes to the cup competitions, I want us to go after these trophies. These are winnable trophies. The League Cup is winnable. The Europa League is winnable. The FA Cup's winnable. The one-off matches. And we can do them. We didn't take them seriously last season. And you can blame Ange for that, but you can also blame that because we didn't get into Europe as well. There was no games to play these players that wouldn't get into the first team. And we had to use them in that League Cup last season. And we went out, and you know, we were out very early in the FA Cup as well. So I want him to take the cup seriously this year. I want a trip to Wembley, and this is where we could have done more in the transfer window. But as I said, more on that next week. Big up the Boroughs. Sounds like a Bayern Leverkusen have been beaten in the league for the first time since last season. Yeah, I have seen that. And also Everton today losing 3-2 to Bournemouth. Bournemouth scoring 2 goals in the last few minutes as well. Arsenal dropping points, and also that traitorous Irish player being sent off, and he's now going to miss the North London derby. And this is why tomorrow's game is so important, because the game after the international break is the North London derby. And that's our place for the first time in a long while. And we've got to be up there. If we can win tomorrow, can you imagine the confidence going into that game? And if somebody said to me before the start of the season start, right, Dermot, you're going to have 2 wins and a draw before the first international break, I would have bitten your hand off of that. That's 7 points. That's a great start to the season. And we've really got to put the demons to bed tomorrow. We've got to put these demons we have going up to St. James's Park, and we've got to put them to bed. Because they last 2 visits up there, we've been atrocious. We lost 6-1 up there, where our captain gave up at half time, rolled up the white flag. I'm not going out in the second half, lads. I'm staying in the sitting room, in the changing room. And when we went up there last year, we totally lost. After Newcastle scored, we lost our way. Ange has to come up tomorrow with a plan to silence the crowd up there. We should have big enough players to go up to any stadium, and doesn't matter the atmosphere. He said it yesterday, I think, or Friday in his press conference, that the atmosphere got to some of the players. It was the first time they're in that sort of atmosphere. You're a footballer. You're paid millions of pounds. You should go up there and perform. Doesn't matter if you're playing in the middle of a field in front of 10 men or in the front of 100,000. You should ignore the noise. Ignore what's around you. Concentrate on your job. Your first job to go out there to do for the first 10 or 15 minutes of playing an away game is silencing the away home crowd. And if you can do that, that's half the battle. That's half the battle of you going and winning that game. But if you don't silence that crowd and you give the home side opportunities, which we have done over the last 2 years up at Newcastle, when that crowd gets behind Newcastle, they're a force to be reckoned with. And it's a very, 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 very tough game tomorrow. And we haven't showed anything in the last 2 away games up there. We have not shown any sort of balls or any sort of backbone to prove who we are. And there's been no pride in that shirt. And there will be players in there. Romero, Van der Ven slipped last year for one of the goals. There is going to be psychological damage, psychological, shit. This is what happened last year. Romero the year before. Shit, this is what happened the year before. And we've got to put that to bed. We've got to go out there with the mentality, with the attitude. We are going to win tomorrow. Because Newcastle are not the greatest form at the moment. And we've got an opportunity to go up there and put them demons to bed. And we have to put them demons to bed. And another thing as well, as I said in my predicted lineup, that Brennan Johnson has to be dropped. He has to be, and for his own good. We all talk about player welfare. We all talk about looking after players and looking after their mental health and looking after these younger players. He needs to be taken out and he needs to be dropped because he's not doing the job. You can't keep picking a player that's not producing the goods. He's a passenger in these games. Last year, he was supposed to be the outlet for Vicario. And he was no outlet, and he hasn't been an outlet this season either. I don't blame the lad. I don't blame. It's not his fault. We paid 50 million for him. But he's also got for his own good. And if Ange does not want to get stuck with this tag, he's only playing his favourite players. He's got to drop these players. He's got to take them out and let them earn their confidence back again. Let them earn their place back in the side. He's got no confidence. There's no point playing the player with no confidence. There really isn't. You start Wilson on one side. And look, I went for Kulu and Wilson on the wings, but thinking back on it now, I would probably put Kulu in the middle and put Werner and Wilson on the wings. And put Basuma, Maddison, and Kulu in that midfield tree. Now, I picked Basuma, Maddison, and Sarr, but Bentancur's back. So does he pick with Bentancur? Who knows? But listen, guys, do pick up your memberships. They really do help us grow. If you do, a bit like Boris as well. He's a member. He can come on to these fan shows tomorrow. Pick your memberships up, guys. Bring in a super chat as well. Where you want me to go? Ask me a question. Where do you want me to take the show? This show is for you guys. I'm doing this on my own tonight. Tequila's not very well, so I hope you feel better, Tequila. Philip's at a party. I know Boris did ask if he wanted to come on, and I appreciate Boris. I thought I'd do a solo show. I haven't done one for a while, lads. And show me the direction where you want to go. But pick up them memberships, because they do get you onto the fan show tomorrow after the game where you can. And me and Tequila are looking to do a fan show during the week on the transfer window. And we are going to do a pre-international fan show next Friday before the Ireland-England game. So you can come on and have your say in the match, have your say on the New England manager, have your say if the Irish come on, talk about the Irish manager as well, both making their international management debuts. So it's going to be a really interesting game next Saturday. A game you can see live on our other channel, the European Football Network channel, where you can also see the Man United Liverpool watch along tomorrow. And I think Bobby is covering that as well. And I may jump on with Bobby to do that game. But let's see who's in the chat. Boris says, I would say about the American kid, we have first choice on them, and I've taken with the teams his form since he's a natural six. Yeah, it's a very weird one that we sort of put shares in him. And is that the way how transfers are going to go now? Maybe. Who knows? Big up Simon Cohen as well. Big up Simon. Hope you're doing well, man. Says, I hope we have the balls for tomorrow. Yeah, so do I. Absolutely, so do I. We need to show balls. We need to show balls tomorrow, because I will not accept another performance or another lackluster performance of going up there and not performing and not putting pride in the shirt and not putting the effort in, or just giving up. We can't accept that. We shouldn't be accepting that. And Ange would not. Under an Ange team, that should not be happening. But tomorrow's a real test. Tomorrow's the first proper test. Tomorrow is a test to see how far we have come. See if we have improved from last season. But again, the transfer window was to make us better, and we haven't strengthened a lot. Look, Philip's very much great with Bergville, and he's right to say great with Archie Gray and Solanke. But are they the real players that will pull up their sleeves and dig down in them trenches when you're really struggling? And this is where the likes of a Locatelli or somebody like that, who's experienced, who's been there, who's done it, and he can say, if we go 1-0 down, don't worry, lads. Look, we're good enough. We're better than them. We'll get back into this. Instead of when we go 1-0 down, our heads drop. And it's like, the confidence sucked out of us. You look at the Leicester game, 60 minutes, we were best football I've seen us play in a hell of a long time. And then we just come out the second half like, we've done it. And then we lost our way. It gave Leicester confidence to get back into the game. They get their equaliser, and they could have won it. And then if it wasn't for the Bentancur injury, which then gave us a bit of momentum because we brought on substitutes, we sort of took the game again by the scruff of the neck. Against Everton, we steamrolled Everton, but Everton are a poor side. Everton have lost 3 out of 3, bottom of the league. You should be beating teams like this. We should be beating teams like Leicester. Tomorrow's a test. Tomorrow's a test going away to a ground where we've lost 2 in the 2 seasons running. We've lost. We've only beaten them once. We beat them 4-1 at our place, and then we lost 4-1 away and 6-1 away the following season, the season before that. Tomorrow is a test of us mentally, a test for us physically, and a test for us to see how far we have improved under Ange Postecoglou. And if we win tomorrow, the transfer market will not be such a big thing. It'll be, we've won, okay, we could have done more, but we've got January coming up. If we don't win tomorrow and we lose, say, 4-1 again, the question marks are going to be asked, why did we not buy more players? Why did we not buy more experienced players within that transfer window? And the blame lies fully with the board. You cannot blame Ange Postecoglou. He can only manage what he's been given. You can blame the players also for their performance. You can blame the players for probably not performing. But you cannot blame Ange Postecoglou because he's the one. These are the players you got, Ange. You turn them into a winning side. And he's saying, well, look, I wanted that player A, but I'm getting player C. And it's got to be some. When Paratici was there seemed to be some organisation. There seemed to be some connection. The manager got what he wanted. Ange wanted players last season. He got them. John Lang's come in this summer, and it's been a lot done differently. It's been done very quietly, very secretly. And it's been done suddenly. We got Solanke. But we could have gone for Gimenez, and we could have gone for Ivan Toney. Ivan Toney, would he score them 2 chances Solanke got against Leicester in the first game of the season? Probably. We don't know. But I would like to have gone in for these players. Look, you got the player that went from Juventus to Liverpool, 10 million. That killed me. I was so pissed off with that because that's a player we could have done with. There's a player that could have took over from Brennan Johnson. Give Johnson a little bit of competition. Give him that competition to think, oh, hang on, my place isn't safe here. We could have got a proper number 6 to go in there to cover for a Bentancur or cover for an Archie Gray. Somebody that's been there and done it, that knows how to play that system. And then you've got that bit of experience where he's a link between the back 4 and he's a link for the midfield. And he's that experience to say, okay, guys, I'm going to sit in front of you guys, in front of Romero and Van de Ven. I'll do my bit, but I'm also a link between you and the midfield. So the ball, so the ball goes from one to the other. It's a bit like a jigsaw. We put the jigsaw together. And we're trying to put a jigsaw together with half the bits. And Archie Gray may turn out to be a great signing. He was a great player for Leeds. I'm not dissing him. I'm not saying he was a bad signing. He's not. Because he is a good signing. And I'm activating you use the kids. But you've got to have experience within that as well. Alex Ferguson in 92, when he brought in the kids, the young kids, the Nevilles, the Beckhams, the Scholes, all them sort of players. There was experienced players within that Man United team too that brought them along. And Ange has got a bunch of young kids with no experienced players. Sonny, for me, is a legend. He's a legend of this era of Spurs. If he wins something, then he will be a proper Spurs legend. But for me, for this era of Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, he's a legend in this era. He leads by example. Apparently, he's very vocal in the dressing room, but we need leaders on the pitch. We need leaders on the pitch that if you're not doing the job, he will point your finger at you. And I know I keep bouncing back to the 80s with Graham Roberts and Paul Miller and Tony Galvin and Steve Perriman and Glenn Hoddle and Mickey Hazard and players like that. But you can guarantee within that 80 side, there were 6 or 7 captains. And you guarantee they would bollock you. If you weren't doing your job, they will bollock you. Say, you're not doing your job, do it. There's none of that within this squad. Everyone seems to be a shrink and shut. You can't bollock him. You can't say nothing to him. Oh, no. It's your job to do that. It's your job to pull that shirt on. It's your job to go out there tomorrow, pull that shirt on and do it with pride. You have 2 bad experiences up there. I want you to go up there and put it right tomorrow. I don't want to sit through another 6-1 or a 4-1 where we just give up. And it's about time some players within the squad grow a pair of balls. Romero needs to be more vocal in the defence. He needs to be more vocal. He needs to start pointing fingers. He was up fault for the Leicester goal. Do you know, where's his vocal? Where's he when somebody makes a mistake? Vicario had a right go at Bergville. There's the rights and wrongs of it, but he was right to do it. If you make a mistake and you nearly concede the goal, you're right to be given a bollocking. It's too different. Football in my day, when I was a kid growing up and when I played football, if I made a mistake, I would half expect a teammate of mine to give me a bollocking. Why were you marking that player? Why weren't you tracking him back? Track him back. And the likes of a Brennan Johnson isn't doing that. And this is where he needs to be taken out and he needs to be given a rest. He needs to be given the chance to train in the with the training, gain his confidence back, and show Ange in training, I am the player you keep picking me for. But the problem is we didn't buy any cover within the transfer window to cover Brennan Johnson. And there was something the Keeler said to me the other day, and it really struck home last night, well, as I was doing the deadline day, that it was round, we were putting square pegs in round holes. And that's what we've done. We haven't, we've done brilliantly on the outgoings, but the ingoings could have been so much better. We had such an opportunity to grab an opportunity to get ahead of some of the top form. For fuck's sake, Chelsea are such in disarray and they're buying players left, right, and centre. How the hell are we supposed to be a team or a club that can spend anything up to 400 million on FFP? Chelsea, who are absolutely probably broke FFP more times than I've had hot dinners, can get away with it and spend another $1 billion. Explain to me how that is happening. Explain to me how we as a club are so well run. We're apparently, and they did a survey on the best well run clubs in London in football. Tottenham came number 1. Best financial run club in football. Best financially run income-based club in the Premier League. Best for this, best for that. I want us to be best on the pitch. I want us to be the best on collecting trophies. I want us to be going after the FA Cup. We haven't won an FA Cup since 1991. We haven't won a League Cup since 2008. We haven't won a European trophy in 40 years. It is 40 years since we last won the UEFA Cup. 40 years since this great club last won a European trophy. 1991 was the last time we won the FA Cup. Not even Dave or most of the people in the chat were alive then. I was only a teenager last time we won an FA Cup. I mean, how old was I in 84? I was 7 the last time we won a European trophy. I was 5 when we won the FA Cup in 82 and 4 when we won the FA Cup in 81. It is shocking how we as a football club, and we love our club, we love Tottenham Hotspur, we're there every day, we're there every match day, we're there, thousands turn up, following them home and away. We do this channel, Dave does his, and we're all there. Match day pump-ups, watch-alongs, post-match. We do content on this great club we love. And every year they let us down for not winning a trophy. I want a trophy so badly it hurts. And it's about time the club matched the fans' ambition. We've got a brilliant stadium. We've got a brilliant transfer. We've got a brilliant training facility. We've got a brilliant this. We've got brilliant that. We've got a manager that can win us stuff. We've got a manager that can take us to the promised land. Then back that manager. Back him with the players he wants. Back him with the players that he thinks that will follow his philosophy of football. We're going into a season where we don't know. If Ange ends this season, it'll be the first season since Pochettino, a manager, has ended a second season. That is absolutely disgraceful. And there's this joke coming around because Oasis have got back together. You know, Tottenham haven't won a trophy since the last time Oasis were last formed. I am sick of hearing that joke. I'm really pissed off of hearing that. And there's a lot of people to blame for that. There's a lot of players. There's the players who didn't perform, who threw managers under the bus again and again and again and again. There's the managers that didn't do their job properly. The board, the owners need to take responsibility. But it's us fans that suffer. It's not the players that suffer. They still get their hundreds of £1,000s a week. It's not the manager that suffers. He gets a good payout at the end if he gets sacked or at the end of the season. It's us fans that suffer. It's us fans that get banter from other clubs. You know, years gone by, Dave said it in his show once, and he's spot on what he says. Years ago, walking down the street, see another Tottenham fan, you nod your head. It was that respect we had for one another. Now you hide to be a Spurs fan. Because of what them lot are doing. Look what them lot are doing down the road. They stuck with the manager. They backed the manager all the way. And look what they're doing. The night we beat them if you told me the night we beat them to reach top 4, the night we bullied them to win that game in the North London Derby to get top 4 under Conte's first season, and you told me 2 years later that Arsenal would be challenging for the league and we're where we are, I wouldn't have believed you. I would not have believed you. And I want tomorrow for us to go up there and prove everyone wrong. I want them to prove who we are, what we're about. We're Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. We wear the cockerel pride, and we're going up there and we're going to beat Newcastle United. And we're going to show them who we are. And we've got to go up there. They've got to go up there and prove to us and prove to themselves they can bloody well do it. And sorry, I sound like a vicar doing the sermon. A lot of it was built up, and I just had to get it out. I do apologise, Simon. I don't mean to vent. I apologise, sir. I do really. I'm very, very sorry. Anyway, what am I going? Dermatron fucking venting. What are you getting? Yeah, we read that one. Yeah, read that one. Big up Simply Ace. Hello, everyone. Big up Simply Ace. Hope you're doing well, sir. We're going to be in big trouble tomorrow against Newcastle. That is the point. That is the point. We've got to go up there with balls tomorrow. We've got to go up there and show them who we're about. And I tell you what, I talk to Philip Brady quite a lot. Me and Philip take quite a lot. And we talk a lot about football in the past. And I love picking Philip's brain because Philip has so much football knowledge on the past, and I love picking his brain on it. And it's right. It's right to pick his brain because he's got so much knowledge and so much history that he can... Oh, sorry. I need to get better headphones, so that's one thing I need to get next week. On history of Tottenham. So, I mean, he's around. He remembers the 67 side, the early 70s side. He was there when we got relegated, and he's seen it all. And Wilton McDonald and Terry Young, they've seen everything. And I said to Philip once, I said, I would love Spurs to be... Kids remind me of the 80s. And Philip said to me, I can't remember what he said to me right precisely. But he said, it will come again, Dermot. Don't worry, it will come again. And maybe I have to believe in that. Maybe I have to believe in that philosophy that it will come again. And Philip has seen it all. So if Philip is telling me and Wilton's telling me, Dermot, don't worry about it, we're going to get there, then I have to believe in these fans that have seen it more, seen more than I have. They've seen the great Bill Nick. That great double, I mean, Wilton saw the great double side. Terry Young saw the great double side. He saw that side being built. Philip has seen the great Bill Nick. He saw the start of Steve Perriman's career and getting to winning 2 League Cups in the UEFA Cup and winning an FA Cup. And we got to look after, we've got to listen to these older fans, and we've got to look after them. And this is another thing that gets me about Levy. The most thing that gets me about the board and Daniel Levy, and this is not a rant on Levy, by the way, it's the way we don't celebrate our history of our club. They should be damn well a statue outside that stadium for Bill Nick. How that man was never knighted is a disgrace. It really is a disgrace how that man was never knighted for services for football while he was alive. That man was a manager within the era of Sir Matt Busby, Bill Shankly, Brian Clough, Jock Stein, all these legendary managers. And Bill Nick rose to the top with Tottenham to become the first side to do the double. Matt Busby never did that. Bill Shankly never did that. Jock Stein probably did that at Scotland with Celtic, because Celtic are the great Scottish side that ever lived. But Bill Nick was the man, a Yorkshireman, came down from Spurs, played for Spurs, coached Spurs, managed Spurs, and was the first manager to take us to win the double of the last century. He was the first manager to bring a British side to win a European trophy. He was the first manager to take a British side to win 2 European trophies. He was the first man, I think, in the last century to win the FA Cup back-to-back. And we should be celebrating that. Where's his trophy? Where's the Arthur Rowe stand? Where's the Steve Perryman stand? Where's the Glenn Hoddle stand? Where's the statue for our greatest ever striker, Jimmy Greaves? And I know a lot of the youngsters and the younger generation, Harry Kane is the greatest striker of all time. I am sorry, Jimmy Greaves is the greatest striker this world will ever see. And Phillips told me stories about Jimmy Greaves. We had the great Norman Giller a little while ago. We're trying to get him back on the channel again, guys. And I tell you one thing, how that man has so many stories. I mean, he met Muhammad Ali, Graham Hill. He met so many sports stars, but he met the 2 best strikers, I think, apart from Garth Crooks and Steve Archibald, was the G-Men. There is a book out by Norman Giller. I would advise you go and get it. If you can find it, find it. It is a great book. Philip very, very, very kindly sent me an early copy, and I got a very early copy from Norman Giller. I tell you, I read that book when I couldn't sleep at night. It is one of the most funniest, tear-jerking, but by God, Christ, did we have a great side there. And that all would come from a Yorkshireman who came down from Yorkshire and built the greatest side the world has ever seen. You can forget your Man Cities. You can get your Man Uniteds. Tottenham Hotspur were the first team to do everything. We are the best team the world has ever seen. And I want Daniel Levy, before he leaves his tenure as chairman, to have a statue of Bill Nick outside that. And I'll start a petition. I will start a petition. There needs to be a proper statue outside that stadium with the gates next to him. With the gates in, there's a picture of him holding the Tottenham gates. There has to be done something. And also a stand named after Jimmy Greaves and Steve Perryman and Arthur Rowe. Because we should celebrate, all the other clubs celebrate their past. We don't do it. And I'd be damn well sure we're going to do it. And I'm going to keep it live on this channel. This is why the channel was created. Because I love our history. But I will damn well make sure before I draw my last breath, there will be a Bill Nick statue outside that stadium tomorrow. That stadium before I kick my clogs. Start Wilson tomorrow. He's already in my predicted lineup, Simon. I'll start him tomorrow, no problem. Simply Ace. I can only think Brendan Johnson is playing because he had the second most goal contributions last season. For me, yeah, he's playing. Yeah, he needs to be dropped. I think he should. I'm his biggest fan. I'm his biggest fan, and I think he should be dropped. Big up Terry White. Big up Terry. How are you doing? He says, big up everyone. I think it'll be 2-2 tomorrow. Do you know what? I'm going for 3. I went for a 3-0 in my match day predicted video for Dave, and I'm sticking to that 3-0. Jerry Connor said these new signings are not what Ange wanted. I think they were on the list for Ange that if they didn't get A and B, they got C. Look, Archie Gray, I think, is a great signing. Bergville, for me, is a genius of a signing. And why I say that is that young lad, and I've said it to Philip, and I've said it to Keely and Colin and Boris, he reminds me of a young Glenn Hoddle. Now, if he gets anywhere near that level of Glenn Hoddle, then we've got one hell of a player on our hands. But you see him playing in the first couple of games, he looks so natural. I think it's a great signing, but we should have done better. Well, here's the boss. Big up. There's the boss man himself, the Irish Hotspur, the #1 Spurs Irish YouTube channel. We're #2, but we're coming for your crown, Mr. Harris. We are coming for you. We're coming for the #1 slot. THFC till I dies on your tail, son. Odin goes to Tron. Yeah. Big up, Dave. What a legend. Everyone go over to his channel, please, and help them pass. I think they've got past 15K, I think. Yeah, I think they have. Anyway, hope you're well, Dermo. Big up everyone in the chat. Smash the like, peeps. I'm predicting 2-2 draw against the Magpies. Melton, we're going for the win, 3-0. And also, pick up your memberships as well, guys, if you can. It really does help the channel, get you onto the member shows tomorrow after the match, and also send in those super chat. I know times are tough out there, but it does help the channel, and it helps keep Dermatron doing what Dermatron loves doing, which is talking Spurs, making an ass of myself on YouTube, and just talking general nonsense. But I love doing it. You lads love coming in. 1,009 of you love listening to me, so, you know, keep me doing it. I love doing this, so help. Johnny Consinder sounds like a guy. He does, Simon, to be fair. Sounds like somebody out of GTA. Simply yes, I think Levy has his piece in the pie. Yeah, I think so. Simon saying big up Dave. Boris said it seems all those signings what West Ham did, everyone said would take them above us and lost 3-1 to City. Yeah, I do. I still think West Ham could be a dark horse. Simon says I was 10 when we won the FA Cup in '67. Wow. You've seen it all, Simon, too, sir. Big up to Hot God 10. Good evening, Dermot chat. Big up, Hot God. We've got Boris Velez scored the winner for Espanyol in the 96th minute. Forgot we asked him. See, there's another player that could come back and do a job for us. Yeah, I read that one. Awesome, Boris. That would do. Velez, a word of good for his confidence. Yeah, it will actually do a word of good for his confidence. The dates of the Europa League matches have been announced for Spurs. I will get that for you guys, and I will put it in the community chart, the community section. Big up to the legend that is Mr. Philip Brady. Today is his day off. I did mark it on my calendar, but I was so tired after last night's stream, I forgot. So I apologise. Sorry, Mr. Brady. Yeah, I have got it marked. You're off for the Arsenal game. You're away for that. I have got that marked, but, you know, I apologise. Don't send another horse's head down to me. I'm running out of space of putting them, to be fair. But he says, watch the John Lang interview. I did, actually, about the rebuild. It's not finished by a long shot. No, it's not finished. Do you know what? I don't know what to make of him, Philip. I'm going to get your views when you're on tomorrow. I still prefer Paratici. I think Paratici and Postecoglou work better together, but this man's a bit quiet. I don't know, but as long as he does his job right, all I want's the best players for us. Unless the board improve their transfer policy strategy or we get a new owner, we will keep having this conversation, sadly. The last 24 years are in... It does feel a little bit of rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. But we've got a manager, and I want Ange to stay, and I want Ange to succeed so much. You have no idea how much I want Ange Postecoglou to work and Ange Postecoglou to be the manager to take us to glory. You have no idea, and he will do. I just want him to be back properly. Dermo being let loose in the asylum. Dave, I'm always, you know me. You know me, man. You know me. When I get going, I get going. I didn't mean to rant. I do apologise, but putting this into short is going to be interesting, actually. Yeah. See, everyone goes away. They let Dermot do a solo stream and he goes mental. Big up, respect, brother. Absolutely. I tell you one thing, this is one of the nicest person on YouTube, Dave. He really is a very good friend of mine. I class 3 or 4 people, and him and Jack are one of my best friends on YouTube, off screen as well, in my private life as well. They're absolute legends, the pair of them. Boris says, I hug. Oh, there's Boris with all the gates. So I will get, if Boris can put that for me in the WhatsApp group, I will, or send me the picture of it. I'll stick it into the community section. Or Boris, yeah, just send to me and I'll do that for you, Boris. Simon, we need to shop in Harrods in January. I think we may well do. I've got a funny feeling we could well do. Evening, Dermot and chat. Big up, Paul. Hope you're doing well. We've got Simon kind of could be worse. We could be Everton fan. Do you know what? I have a soft spot for Everton. But to be 2-1 up and lose in injury time is shocking. I think they're going down this week. I think we are going down. I think they are going down this season, Everton. It's going to be shocking. Open up a new stadium against Leyton Orient. I mean, that would be shocking. Dermot, we are Tottenham with history, and the board don't know. Exactly, Jerry. Absolutely spot on. Hang on, where's my drink? Need a drink. The old throat's going. Absolutely spot on. And that's it. The board don't acknowledge it. The board don't acknowledge the history. And we have a rich history. The first team to win an FA Cup as a non-league team. No other team's done that. Not now, not then, not ever since. And no one will ever do it again. And we were the first team. We need to celebrate these people. We forgot Bill Nick's birthday or anniversary the other year. How can you forget that? Seriously. Even I've got a memory like a goldfish. But I remember my missus's birthday. I remember when Bill Nick passed away and always acknowledge it. Do you know? It's like Daniel Levy forgetting his missus's birthday. Oh, sorry, I forgot. Bill Nick was the best thing that ever happened to Tottenham Hotspur, followed by Keith Birkinshaw, Arthur Rowe a bit before that, followed by Keith Birkinshaw, and hopefully followed by Ange Postecoglou, who was taught by Puskas, who taught Arthur Rowe the push and run, and Puskas then taught Ange Postecoglou. Do you know? As I always say, cycles. I always say Ange Postecoglou's Bill Nick and Arthur Rowe into one person. That's who that man is. Hogarth says we will get there when the corporate board changes to a football board. A good mix of business and football is needed. There's no balance. And I want the Man United. I want the Man United method. Somebody that comes in and buys the football side and let Levy do the business side and let somebody come in and do the football side. That's what I want. Look, I don't mind. Look, it broke my heart to leave White Hart Lane. It broke my heart to have that stadium knocked down. It really did break my heart. But I don't mind progression. I love the stadium we've got now. I don't mind having the best facilities. I don't mind the club do other revenue streams at the club. It doesn't bother me. As long as the money that they make from that, we've got to pay her for debt, which I know, which is really, you got to give it to Levy in that hand, that the repay of the debt is we're financially secured for the first time ever in our history. But let's put some of this money into the footballing side and let's get success on the footballing side. Because if you're successful on the football side, that will then help more in the business side. This is why Man United become the richest club in the world in the 90s and early 2000s, because they were successful on the football side. And that gave Fergie more money to spend on decent players to improve the team, to rebuild the team, to rebuild many Man United sides, went on to be successful. It was the same in the 60s, same in the 70s, same in the 80s. The 80s success led to us going on to be more successful. And then Christian Gross came in with his travel card. And that was the end of that. I watched that the other day on YouTube. That Christian Gross being announced to the media as Tottenham manager. I I I swear to God, Alan Sugar must have looked at him and thought, "What the fuck have I done?" It was so funny. The look on Sugar's face, like, was thinking, "Hmm, I think I may have cocked up here." Simon says Everton fans are meltdown on Talksport. Yeah, I think rightly so as well. Um, Big up in Milton says, love that Dermo spitting fire. I don't know if I'm spitting fire, right? But I'm spitting something. Big up Milton. Really appreciate that, though. So we need fireball ammunition when Dermot is kicking off. Look, I tell you one thing, hot God, if the players had our fire and everything, I think we're in a far better place. Mr. Brady says, I join you, Dermot, but I'm on a very noisy train. You're grand, Philip. Just keep putting in the chat, sir. Jerry, you're on with me tomorrow anyway, so I'm looking forward to your company tomorrow. Jerry says, keep Birkinshaw. Do you know what? That's a very good point. Two Yorkshire lads did very well at Tottenham. Is there something about Yorkshire and Tottenham? Certainly is. Norman was the G-men's wingman. He was. Philip, you mean that's where he is. Oh God, exactly. He's not on the train. He's in a pub somewhere. And congratulations again to his daughter and her partner who got engaged last night. So congratulations, yeah, congratulations to the happy couple, and wish you success in the future. The Bell and Hare, that's where Philip is. Philip's in the Bell and Hare. That's where he is. He's not on the train at all. Oh God, there you got your answer. He's in the Bell and Hare. Bobby Smith was a legend. Yeah, he was, Jerry. He was. Oh God, Ken's just laughing. Stefan Freud. No, look, Simon. Look. I can accept a few, but Stefan Freud, rarely a statue for him. We can do a little one, I suppose. We can do a little one for you. We said these signings Ange wanted. Do we know what Ange? No. So people saying these ain't first choice of his, maybe not, but they're still signing. He might have wanted. We can't say. We don't know. But I just wanted better. And I think, Boris, you should know how balanced I am on that. But I just want it better. I just feel underwhelmed. What he wanted them or not exactly. Enoch, if you love Spurs, you would have a statue of all the footballing titans from THFC. Exactly. And oh God, I'm going to keep on at this to my dying day. It has to be something done. We've got the Alaskan Hotspur. Big up. I love that name. Do you actually live in Alaska? If you do, let me know in the chat, because I've always wanted to go to Alaska. I know Dave wants to go to Alaska. Maybe me and Dave may go to Alaska together. Maybe Mrs. Irish Hotspur and Mrs. Tron may actually be glad to get rid of us for a few days. Me and Dave go hiking in the Alaskan and find a polar bear. Bring it back and have it stuffed and have it on somewhere. Anyway. Seems like a good time to match with Newcastle. Your 3 scoring, that sounds about. Well, there's another sensible man. See, even he agrees with me. Big up the Alaskan Hotspur. Big up, sir. Hope you're doing well. Dave saying, hello, Mr. Brady. Great to see you where you're off. He's not on the train, Dave. He's in a pub. He's in the Bell and Hare. You know that. That's where he's going. Big up, Boris. Thank you very much. Hi, guys. Jumping in for a few games ahead of me in the mini. Me have tickets for Brentford coming from Sweden. Anyone up for a pint? Well, listen, if you are around, Andy, let me know where you are, guys. Let me know in the chat where you are, and then we'll get people up there. But he says there, jumping a few. Sorry, let me read this again. Sorry, I'm sorry. Hi, guys. Jumping a few games ahead. All right. But me and Mini-Me, I have tickets for the Brentford coming from Sweden. Anyone up for it? Listen, if we're there, let me know where you are. I'll try to get tickets for it. And if I can get over, I definitely will meet up for you for a pint, Andy. So let me know where you come and say, it'd be great to meet you. Sent Dermo Romero suspended for the first. Yeah, he is due to being sent off against AC Milan. Please don't remind me of that game. Please do not remind me of that. I was there. I was absent. Hang on. I don't know if I can hear myself or not, but anyway, I was there. I remember it very much, and it's a nightmare. The best time I had was spending 4 days with Dave and Jack, which was, and Nick as well, meeting Nick for the first time, and Ellie, and we had a grand time. We did go out, and I did have a very sore head the next day and one night. Jesus, I have a hangover from hell. It was all right till the tequilas came out. Once the tequilas came out, I don't remember much afterwards, believe me. But yeah, do not that. Oh, don't, please don't. That was the night I left. So disillusioned of Tottenham Hotspur. I didn't want to watch another game for the rest of the season after that. But we had to. Because I run this great channel. But yeah. Me and Philip will talk about it tomorrow, that AC man. Send that comment in tomorrow as well, Boris, and we'll get Philip. There's a funny story to that. Me and Philip were in the club shop. And we were looking for AC Milans to, interview for the channel. So we saw these two sort of AC Milan fellas, right? So I said, Philip, shall we go and talk to them? So then me and Philip said, do you speak English? Yeah, we do speak English. We're from the west of Ireland. We met the only two Irish AC Milan in the whole bloody place. You could make it up. I'm sure Levy's charging Bill Nick's family huge sums of money for the statue and other club lender. There's nothing there of Bill Nick outside. There may be inside the stadium, but not outside the stadium. Where are the gates? Where the Bill Nick gates? Where are they? Where are they? They need to be up there. Big up to Mick as well. Big up Michael. Yo to you, Michael. Yo. And then the Alaskan Hospital says, I live in Fairbanks, 200 miles south of the Arctic Circle. My heaven. Only thing is missing here is only under Spurs Bank. Well, the Alaskan Hospital, you have your family here. And I'll tell you one thing, you ever come to Ireland or you ever come to a game and I'm there, if you ever come to Ireland, hit me up. I will come up and meet you. So it would be a privilege and an honour to meet you guys. Well, listen, that's enough from me, Rafton. Let's give you all the information you need for tomorrow night's game. Of course, it is game week 3, the 1st of September, 2024 at 1:30 kickoff at St. James's Park. It is the last game before the international break. The referee, guys, for tomorrow is Robert Jones. His assistant is Ian Hussein. Nick Greenhalgh. The fourth official is Bond. Darren Bond. Sorry, I couldn't resist that. I'm sorry. VAR is Stuart Artwell. Oh, fucking Jesus, that idiot. And then his assistant is Natalie Aspranella. Big up, Natalie. There is an injury list. Dom Solanke is out as a precaution, and Richie did pick up a injury during training, so he won't be available tomorrow. This is the Newcastle. Botman's out with a knee. Lassa Kelly is out with a knee as well. Serkes suspended. Callum Wilson out with the back. Lewis Smiley out with an ankle injury. Joe Wilcox out for a thigh. And Martin Jubovac is concussion, so he is a doubt for the game tomorrow. Where you can watch it, of course, you can watch it on Sky Sports, NB Sports, and Fubo TV in Canada. But you turn the commentary down and listen to us here on THFC till I die. We give you the best commentary. In the Premier League, they've played us 58 times, so it's been 8 draws. Newcastle have had 25 wins in total, 14 at home, 11 away. Same for Tottenham as well, but 16 at home and 9 away. The last 4 games really have been a go fest, but 2 of them not on Tottenham's side. Last time we played them, of course, was last season. We lost 4-0 away at half 12 away to them, and then we beat them 4-1 at home, of course, in the fixture before. And then before that, of course, was the 6-1 drubbing, where we totally fell apart when Stellini was in charge. Lloris refused to come out for the second half, and everyone player on that pitch should have been damn well ashamed of themselves. And it's a game. I remember us losing 7-1 to Newcastle back in the 90s, and I thought that was depressing. I mean, this was worse. It really was. Now, Newcastle's form guide now, a bit from the end of last season and the 2 games that started this season, has not been great. Only 2 wins out of the last 5. The last game they drew 1-1 with Bournemouth away. They beat only Southampton. Against Southampton should have won. Should have got points out of that game. So do you know what I mean? Newcastle are on a bit of a dodgy run, so it is a good time to play them because Spurs here, we're unbeaten in the last three. Of course, we beat Sheffield United at the last game of the last season. Then we've got 1-0 with Leicester, beat Everton 4-1, but only one defeat in our last 5 games, of course. That was that game against Man City when I do not want to go through that again. The build-up to that game was nightmarish. You know, it was just something I never wanted to talk about or look about or even think about again. But if you look at that, 1 loss in the last 5 in the Premier League is not a bad return, guys. This is the latest position. Spurs are in 9th, Newcastle are 10th, both with 1 win each, both with 1 draw. Average goal scored per match, 2.5 for Spurs, 1 for Newcastle, 0.5 for average goals conceded for match, 0.5 again for Spurs, both with a clean sheet. Chances created per match, 2.5 for Newcastle, 3.5 for Tottenham Hotspur. Biggest win of the season, of course, was Newcastle's 1-0 home win at the start of the season against Southampton. And Tottenham's biggest win, of course, was last Saturday, the 4-0 demolition of Everton. Of course, in all competitions, Tottenham Hotspur have played Newcastle 169 times in all competitions, 73 wins, 34 draws, 62 defeats, 287 goals for, 262 against in the Premier League. We have a sort of very tight run with them in the Premier League, guys. And then the leading goal scorers of all time for Tottenham Hotspur, of course, it's the great Harry Kane with 9 goals, Sonny with 5, Adebayor with 4. Then there's a load of them: Anthony, Bell, Defoe, Eves and Sheringham all on 4. We have scored 92 Premier League goals against Newcastle since the start of the Premier League back in 92-93. That is all your build-up, guys. That's all your little bit of infos before the big match tomorrow. And what is coming up tomorrow, guys, is we've got Tottenham team talks at I think it's 10-1. Yeah, 10-1. We've got Tottenham team talks. 1:20 we've got the start of the watch along, guys. And then at 3:30, we've got post-match live. Do pick up your memberships. They are cheap. You do get great service on them. We're doing a lot. We're going to start doing a lot more members, more content. We're going to do a lot. Me and Tequila this next week, we're going to do a few shows about the transfer window, the squads. We're going to go over that. And then next Friday, let me know, guys, if you want the England-Ireland game shown live on this channel as well. Let me know if you do. If you do, I will show it live here. And we also got the European Football Network channel for all your other Premier League football, all your other League Cup and FA Cup games as well. Here it's just for Tottenham. But because it is England versus Ireland, or Ireland versus England, next Saturday, it is a long time since we played them. And we are unbeaten in competitive games in 33 years. The mighty Irish team. England have not beaten us. Let's know if you want it here. If you want me to show the game live on here, I will do. Let me know in the comment section before. Just a couple of more comments, and then I will let you go. Isaac is going to run rings around us if we're too open at the back. Newcastle 4, Tottenham 1. Hope I'm wrong. I think you will be wrong, simply, Ace. I think Tottenham will tighten it up at the back. I don't think they'll be that gung-ho as they were against Everton. And Andy, big up Andy, says last time at Newcastle 4-0 we had. Yeah, that is the thing that really surprises me. We have so much possession in these games and we just make stupid mistakes. We just really do make stupid mistakes. But, you know, tomorrow's a new day. It's a new game. Whatever you're doing, have a lovely rest of your Saturday evening. If you want to see more of me, I'm on at Dave's, of course, at 10:30 in the morning for the pre-match pump-up. The greatest way to get your match day morning started over the Irish Hotspur. I'm also here at 10-1, of course, for Tottenham Team Talks, where we will go over, me, Mr. Brady and Boris will go over the Tottenham lineup. Then at 1:15, 1:20, we'll start the watch-along build-up, me and Mr. Brady. I'm John Motson. Mr. Brady's like the Trevor Brooken of the YouTube world. We're bringing the watch along, and then at 3:30 it is post-match live, where your members you members get to come on and talk about the game, the transfer window. So grab your channel memberships. It is so important. You do not get on without it. But if you do, and Simply A says, great show, Demo. Take care, everyone in the chat. Well, thank you so much. And thank you guys for joining me. There's been a lot of you in the chat today. 124 of you have joined me in total. And I'm so grateful. And I'm not very good at doing these solo shows. I know I rambled on a bit, but I love talking Tottenham. I love talking football. And it gets me out of Mrs. Tron's hair for an hour. So everyone is happy. So on that bombshell, come on, you Spurs, began Trichos. And because Tequila's not here, I'm going to have to say it for him. Coins. Lovely.